So students, right here along the path, very close to the visitor center that's usually open, but not right now, we come across a community dominated by the plant species Sorghastrum nutans. Its common name is Indian grass. This is one of the more dominant plants as part of the prairie. And one of the things that's kind of interesting about Sorghastrum nutans is that it is a grass. Okay, so I was talking about how grasses and forbs are the dominant plant species in the Midwestern prairie. Grasses differ from forbs in the shape and dimensions of their leaves. All right, so grasses tend to have longer, thinner leaves with parallel veins, and their flowers tend to be a lot smaller. Whereas forbs, you can kind of see in the foreground, there's some forbs in here. Forbs tend to have broader leaves. Now, one of the interesting features of prairie grasses like Sorghastrum nutans is that they tend to have very, very deep root systems. So these are last year's grasses. These stalks that we see here are dead. They're made up of cellulose, all right? They will actually decay over time, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of dead material here. One of the things that we talked about when we were talking about prairies and prescribed burns is that those prescribed burns can help to reincorporate some of this biomass that's present above the ground. This community, dominated by Sorghastrum nutans here along the side of the path, still maintains a lot of nutrients, energy, biomass, all in the deep, deep root system that is underneath the surface of the soil. So all of this dead material up at the top, this can be burnt away, and in reality that'll probably just accelerate the seedlings and the new growth that shoots out from underneath those root systems. The other thing that's important about those root systems is that because the roots go very, very, very deep in the soil, that biomass that's there helps to not only hold the soil together, but adds nutrients to the soil. So all that living plant material, when it dies, it slowly begins to decompose within the soil profile, the soil horizons. And that is one of the main reasons why Midwestern soils tend to have a really high organic content and tend to be very fertile. It has to do with this very, very large and accumulated amount of biomass that is attributed to these grasses and forbs that have these very extensive root systems. All right, so the amount of biomass that you see above the surface of the soil is nothing compared to the amount of biomass that's present beneath the soil.